Everybody loves a good board game, especially when it's raining or you're on a group date.
But what's the best board game ever?
I'm Anthony Rose from LaGrange, Kentucky. Let's talk about that.
Good Mythical Morning.
Don't choke the people.
I'm just getting their attention.
It seemed like you were choking them. Today's episode is brought to you by the Rhett and Link Kommunity. Thousands of mythical beasts are over there just making things happen left and right.
Join up, conversate, and create. Be your mythical best.
We're in the business, if you haven't noticed, of figuring out what the best things ever are.
But we don't presume to do that just in a vacuum.
Oh, no.
Where we're, the two of us inside of a vacuum. But we do it with them.
We have been in a vacuum before, though. It was a very large vacuum, probably sold by Cthulhu's.
Probably makes you expand.
Anyway, last week we asked you, who is the best superhero ever? We have tabulated your results in the video comments and responses, and the best superhero ever is...
Batman is the best superhero ever because he doesn't even need superpowers.
Batman. No, it wasn't Plastic Man. I'll keep him all to myself.
Unfortunately, Hawkman did not show too well in the score, in the final standings. I was surprised.
He did get one vote, I think. I don't know who it could have been from, but he did get one vote. Okay, it's time to move on and ask bigger, larger, better, or at least different questions.
Yeah, I think they're just different at this point. What's the best board game ever?
What is the best board game ever?
You know, board games in some ways have fallen a little bit out of fashion because you've got the video games, but nothing brings a family together. It's family time. You know, old people and young people can play together. I guess that happens in video games now, like on the Wii, you know. You can play tennis with your great granddad. He's like, but board games
threw out my meniscus.
Board games are your meniscus is in your knee, I think.
Granddad puts his knee into it.
But everybody's played board games since they were a kid. We played them a little bit in my family growing up.
Yeah, to me, board games were the things that when you would go and spend the night at a friend's house when you were little, you'd rummage through all of their toys and you'd pull out some of their board games. You're like, well, I don't even know. I didn't even know I still had that.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But at your house, I don't really recall there being much of a board game closet.
We had board games like when we were really young. I'm talking like Candyland, Chutes and Ladders level, like when we were really young. And then it just wasn't something we really did for the rest of our lives. I would do it at other people's houses. I would do it at friends' houses. And now when the families get together, my sister-in-law, she's a big board game person. She likes us to play board games. We've only played like once or twice in the past like 15 years.
Yeah, it's not just for kids anymore.
She hasn't been successful. But
kids and adults alike and everyone in between, feel free to vote in the comments. And just as importantly, submit your video response with your argument for what is the best board game ever. We'd love to feature you if you represent the winner next Friday. Yeah. What?
I was going to say, we've got a list, just like always. Your favorite board game that you think is the best board game ever might be on the list. It might not. If it's not, just add it in the comments. That's the way it works around here.
But before you vote, you might want to hear us out because we're each going to take one and give an argument for why it's the best board game ever.
Yes, we are.
Here's a preliminary list of ones that we are not representing ourselves. Monopoly.
Very popular game.
Chess.
Game of Kings.
Checkers is also on a board.
The game of people who are too stupid to play chess.
That's not necessarily true.
Well, you know, it's the introductory. It's like you start off with checkers, your kids get checkers down, and then you move them on to chess.
Checkers is like chess that can be played in the lobby of a Cracker Barrel. Just enough time to get seated at a Cracker Barrel.
Right, okay.
You can't do that, by the way. Scrabble.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Words for Friends, except it's on a board in real life.
Well, Scrabble is the sort of the template for Words with Friends.
Oh.
That's how it works.
So
it also gets you kicked off airplanes.
Trivial Pursuit. Clue.
Don't play Trivial Pursuit with an old person. Have you ever played Trivial Pursuit with an old person? Unless you play like get the updated edition that's got like movie trivia. If you play like the classic Trivial Pursuit with an old person, you will know nothing and they will know everything.
And because old people know trivial things? What are you trying to say, right?
Because the game is old, and when they created the trivia, they knew it.
Clue is a great game.
Mm-hmm.
The Professor with the Candlestick in the Library.
Also a good movie. Seen that movie?
Yes. No. Was it a movie?
Yeah.
Battleship is going to be a movie.
It is. I don't know if it's going to be like two guys playing Battleship really intensely.
Yes.
The new Battleship is smaller, at least the one that we have in my house.
That's called travel size, you moron.
Oh, really? I thought I had just grown up and gotten a lot bigger.
You know, a game's got it going on if they could justify the expense of creating a travel size version. Those don't exist anymore, do they? The Game of Life, which I just called Life. I remember that the Game of Life, if I remember correctly, it had a fake plastic hill. So the board game went 3D at some point. I think that's Life.
I don't know. I didn't play it a lot, but I like the concept of being able to succeed at a game and then say, I am succeeding at the Game of Life, and hoping that carries over into life in general.
But it could get morbid. You know, there could be car accidents or medical diagnoses.
I got killed in the Game of Life. That's not good.
Settlers of Catan.
Very popular game.
You own this game. It was Daniel gave it to you for your birthday.
Our good friend Daniel, he gifted the game to me. I've yet to unwrap it from the shrink wrap. That doesn't mean I don't love it and want to play it.
Don't tell him that.
He doesn't watch it.
Apples to apples. I do not know of this game.
It's really popular. They sell it at all the big box stores, and people seem to like it.
Sorry. The thing I love about Sorry, two things. First of all, they've got the boop, boop, you know, you hit the sound that it makes when you spin the dice, which is enclosed in a dome.
That's trouble.
Yeah, trouble.
It's not Sorry, that's trouble. Does
Okay.
Sorry have one of those too?
I love the thing about Sorry that it makes
Sorry.
me think that it's trouble.
What are you, Canadian?
Yeah. I also like Sorry because it ends with an exclamation point. Like, that's not the way to say you're sorry. With an exclamation. Sorry! Yeah! So sorry. Chutes and Ladders, you've already mentioned.
Yes.
Here's a great one. Operation.
Oh yeah, the man in the it's got electricity running through it. It has a game with the electricity running to it.
It can kill you.
And you can give it to little children.
And they can be electrocuted.
Who's not to love that?
Mousetrap. It's a board game, but then it can just be reduced to a toy.
Mm-hmm. And it never worked perfectly, ever, in the history of the game.
You'd have to all go in there and
You had to poke
certain parts to make it continue to work.
Yeah.
I think that's where Facebook got that concept from.
Huh.
You mentioned Candyland. Seen it? That's a contemporary one. There's DVD versions of that, but it still has a board, I believe.
I don't like DVD-based games.
Yeah. Hungry Hungry Hippos is one of the greatest games of all time because how many board games can you potentially lose a finger?
Well, and the great part about that one is it's just you're hitting. The only method of play is hitting the game board over and over again as hard as you can.
Da, 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 da.
You know?
And finally on my list, Twister, which it's not really a board, it's more of a mat, but I'm going to keep it on the list because
It's a very big board.
if you're, the older you get, the more interesting the game gets. I'll just put it to you that way.
It's a great get to know you game. You know, if you're on a date with somebody for the first time, playing Twister with them in a group of people, it's okay. Probably not advised.
So what's your vote, Rhett?
I'm gonna go
Best board game ever, according to Rhett, is
Risk.
okay.
I'm gonna say this because it is a game that requires skill, commitment. You have to be willing to embarrass someone else in the room. Like, you have to be willing to sacrifice a real life friendship in order to attack somebody. I have seen
You have to sacrifice friendships?
it temporarily. You have to temporarily put your friendship on hold. And so there's all these dynamics. And it's not just two people. It's not like Battleship. Battleship is like, C4, oh, you sunk my battleship. It's like,
How cute.
yeah. Risk is like, I'm going to attack Bob instead of Rob. And now Bob and I are mad at each other in real life. My father-in-law and my brother-in-law almost came to blows like at least 12 times while playing Risk. We played as a group. There's a few
So
years.
that's why they call it Risk? Because you're at risk of destroying your relationships in real life?
That could be. Maybe that's why they call it that.
Now, Rhett's telling me about Risk as if I know nothing about it because you know me well enough to know that I hate just even the thought of a game like Risk for all the reasons that you just said are the reasons why I don't like it. It requires skill. I hate games that require skill.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Give me a game that's just like Hungry Hippos. If I can hit the little lever, that's all that I need. Uno. I love Uno. That's card game, but you know what? If it had a board, I would love it. I would be voting for it.
Uno board.
Because, it's so simple. I'm a simple money guy. And who wants to destroy a relationship or even more importantly, invest 4 hours of your life to play a board game?
Well, that would be a very long game. Typical game is maybe an hour and a half.
That's a long time to play a game.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's fun. And when you win, you feel like you have just conquered your friends.
Yeah, and they don't speak to you for a few weeks. You love that.
Yes.
It's just a different personality type. I mean, I can barely get through a game of checkers, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm like, when are they gonna get my seat ready at Cracker Barrel? I mean, I'd rather just if I go to somebody's house and they say we're gonna play Risk, my response is, can I just wash your dishes? I mean, it's like torture to me. My vote for best board game ever, Connect 4. It's great. It's a board game.
The checkers, the vertical checkers?
They've gone vertical. You know you're a great board game when you can go vertical. You can't
Is
beat
it still a board game, though? I don't think it's a board game anymore.
It's a vertical board game.
No, it's like a...
With holes in it.
It's like a rack game. It's like a rack. It's not a board. I don't think it counts. I don't even think it counts.
Well, it counts. It's on the list.
But can't you like hit a lever on it and they all fall out?
And it has a grand finale. It's like when you win, usually, it takes 5 minutes to win a round. And then, if you're as good as I am, and then you pull that lever or that lever, whatever you call it.
I like to say lever.
It's a satisfying conclusion. It's as if every time you played Risk, it only took 5 minutes and you could just sweep the board clean, like,
But can you sacrifice a friendship in order to play it? That's really the test of a good board game.
No, but you can get down real low and you can put it right on your eyeballs and freak people out. Just kind of Connect 4.
Yeah.
Punk.
Maybe you should be that for Halloween next year.
A human Connect 4 board. That's a good idea.
I can assure you, you will be the only person in the neighborhood with that costume.
Shall we get the wheel?
We should get the wheel. Tell us what your favorite board game ever is. What's the best board game ever? We will collectively figure this out. And we will tell you next week.
Now we're going to spin the mythical wheel of mythicality, which we mythically wait for it to mythically stop on our mythical assignment. It gets kind of old, doesn't it? For us to end this thing. I mean, the show, not our relationship.
We don't have enough suggestions, people. Spin again. We replaced TBD with spin again because too many people didn't understand what TBD means.
We got a lot of backlash.
You understand what spin again means?
Who knew?
It means spin again.
Rhett, old man lawn speech. So you're an old man, you're on your lawn.
Hey!
You're telling them something.
Listen, I've told you 47, I don't know how many times I've told you to stay off of the grass. Listen, there's a perfectly good sidewalk that you and your little buddies can go from point A to point B. You don't have to cross my lawn. Stay off of the grass. Do you know how much time I've spent out here on this grass? This is fescue. This is shade-tolerant fescue. Do you understand how easily you can screw up the procedure of the growth of this thing? You put your little measly little feet on it, and the next thing you know, I got bald spots. Do I want a bald spot in my grass? I'm okay with it on my head because I got nothing to do with it because it's got to do with DHT. You know about that? It's the hormone. Of course, all you think about is hormones, you little freaks. Get off my lawn and come back and see us next week.
Here you go, destroying more relationships.